Well, my name is Mike, and I was a homeless guy out in the woods of North Bend for over a year. Just about. It was almost a year to the day. I came here. I was brought by a woman who actually wanted me to steal a car. She told me that it was that her boyfriend had taken her car and that she needed some help getting it back. And so I said, okay. And when we got out here, she handed me a whole ball size of shaved keys, which I use for stealing cars. I am not stealing this car for you. Got out of the car, threw this whole grip of shaved keys back at her, got out of the car. I was in the parking lot of the Safeway in North Bend. Had no way back. Basically what I had was I had a pair of shorts and a backpack, and maybe $8.
Growing up in Snoqualmie Valley, I've seen homelessness in many different scenarios. But to get a truly unique view, I interviewed two willing homeless men.
Because I've been out homeless myself for, I'd say over 20 years. You just plain struggle with life at life's terms after the disaster. You know, and then having a few children and being addicted at a young age to just a simple beer. And I was an alcoholic before I ever took my first sip. And come from an alcoholic family. You have nothing left in your finances, and you're trying to scramble to rebuild a life.
I haven't been in the valley for a number of years, but I think that you know, the shelter is a good thing, and like a resource center would be also a better step up too. You know, a resource center.
More outside help
Yeah.
and influence, you know, to help those in trouble, that to be mandatory rehabilitation, especially through addiction. I don't see no other way out of it.
Homelessness could be considered a habit, and like most habits, in order to break them, there needs to be clear steps towards a solution. I interviewed two local police officers, Sean and Dimitri, to get their input.
And you guys will see the kind of the area. We're going to take you to one camp that just one transient lived there, and there's probably it's on private property, so the landowner hasn't cleaned it up yet, but there's probably a year's supply of material that he packed in there. Wow. You'll be amazed. And we're all about helping people that are truly homeless and need a hand, and they're not drug addicted, they're not criminals, and that population will go use the shelter and use the resources. Go out and find these camps, and they have brand new tents, brand new sleeping bags, caches of food that are just left there because they know if they go back into town, they'll get another supply, and they just leave that cache there, and they'll go build another camp. It's got to be a large complex that is just like a large hotel. Rows and rows of bunks, and you come in, you check in, you're required to give, I know it's kind of harsh, but a background check, a drug test, and a goal. But you got to have restrictions, balances, and an area where they can come be safe and be held accountable.
The police explained an ideal situation and the importance of having people who are homeless responsible for their actions. A viable solution would be to regulate donations and handouts to the homeless. I later talked to Joe, a previously homeless volunteer with many different experiences and a wealth of information.
I believe that community is a verb. It's action. You're not doing something, taking part in it. Just a bunch of people living in proximity to each other. It's not a community. And so I took interest in my homeless community. I went around and basically did rounds, checked out, made sure people were okay. But the real thing that made a huge difference was I volunteered at the food bank. Rather than sitting in the woods and doing nothing and saying, oh God, it's so bad, I can't, everybody's out to get me and I don't have anything, and I volunteered at the food bank. And I found that if you surround yourself with good people, the world gets to be a lot brighter place. If you surround yourself with bad people, it gets to be a very negative and very dark place. I came to the conclusion that if I looked at myself and my issues and my problems, they became a bottomless pit, a black hole that I couldn't possibly fill. when I started taking care of other people and thinking about other people, my life got better. Again, there's gonna be those who are homeless, they like that lifestyle, they're never gonna change, they're trapped in it, and they wanna be in it. There are those out there. Then there are others who, like I said, they're working full-time jobs, showing up at work every day and getting a paycheck and not being able to find housing. Now what you can do, we can always say awareness, but the fact is, it's not, what are you gonna do? It's hard to motivate a community, but we can motivate ourselves, one person at a time, to take interest and actually be a stakeholder in this. We need resources out here as far as day center goes, as far as psychological support, as far as drug addiction support, as far as getting the police and the community to actually buy into a solution rather than just shipping them away or putting band-aids on bullet holes or filling up jails. And we'll work together rather than against each other, backstabbing each other, and just hoping the problem will go away. It's not going to go away.